So we're kind of working our way down the timeline or from the beginning, and now we're kind of at the place where we take the baby home and we're beginning to introduce the baby to life, our world. And sometimes those worlds are very chaotic, very confusing, and so there needs to be built in a sense of security and safety and
attachment, healthy attachment.
Yes, nurturing. And I think that's where the Lord has provided the breast and the feeding and the warmth and the closeness to mother. It's kind of essential because you're doing a couple of things. You're not only just feeding the baby, but you're also comforting the baby and establishing a bond of love.
Yeah. And then what happens? There are a lot of mothers who don't want to breastfeed their babies. Mm-hmm. Like I met somebody who said, I'm not a cow to breastfeed my child. Mm-hmm. There are bottles today and I can be free. I can have my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my time with this. And then you see in child growing up, he acts like a robot. See, mm-hmm. He's not like a human being.
Yeah,
they stay and they answer yes, no. They don't have that attachment.
The emotions are
the
not
emotions
developed. Mm-hmm.
are
the warmth, the love. Yeah. And also I've noticed that when people put pacifiers in their babies' mouths or they have bottles, they never let go of the bottle. They're always having something in their mouth because that's their form of comfort. It's an artificial form. So even when they're older, they have to chew gum, they have to smoke cigarettes, they have to drink alcohol. They have a bottle in their mouth or a can of pop or something. They're always, comfort is coming in through their mouth, but it's an artificial comfort and it's not healthy. But
we're not talking about mothers who cannot, from medical points of view. I mean,
there's plenty of ways they can hold their babies and cuddle their babies.
But we talk about when mother takes the baby and looks into the eyes and talks and love,
and speaks
holds
life
close and speaks life,
over them. And many parents do, and some, like you said, they are forced to go back to work, and I think that is sad because I think that's kind of a plot of the enemy because we have to have money, we have to have two incomes, we have to do this, and then sending the babies to daycare or having them raised by the screens these days, the computer screens and the iPads and the movies and just to shut them up, we just let them watch and they get addicted. They get addicted to those screens and those. And life then, like you said, then they're going to become a robot. They don't really have interactions. And the problem is nobody's taking any time to get to know them. Love is about getting to know someone. And you don't watch your child and say, "Wow, you're really cute. You're really good at that. You really, you're funny. You dance. You sing. I delight myself in you. I validate you. You're a blessing to our lives." Rather than those kinds of words, is you're such a rugrat. You're such a brat. You're such a burden. Get out of here. And ultimately, the harsh things, the lectures, you can't do anything right. What's wrong with you?
Or because of you, I cannot continue my studies. Or because of you, I don't sleep.
I lost my career.
I lost my career. Or we don't have enough money because we need to spend so much on you. Or stop screaming so much. My head hurts me.
Yeah, and when babies are crying like that all the time, and there's like a colic, that they're born with a spirit of fear. And you say, "Oh, it's their tummy ache." Well, yeah. Their tummy isn't being able to digest the food right because there's fear there, and a lot of people just don't know what to do for 3 months because the baby just cries all night, every night, whatever. I believe that's a spirit of fear, and I believe that people will just lay their hand on their baby, take authority over it, and command that spirit of fear or pain both to leave the child. And you say, "Well, I don't know if that's going to work." Well, then ask the Lord, what is the lie? Ask Jesus, what's the lie? Your child is believing right then that's causing them to react in this colicky kind of way. And I believe the Lord will show you. And then when he shows you what the lie is, you have the authority as the parent to bind that spirit and command it to cast it out, remove it. And you, for the baby, because you have the authority, cancel out their agreement with that lie because they're too little to make those agreements and be official at that point. And I had at one time, I was doing a TV something or other, and I talked about pain and babies having pain, colicky, and that pain is a spirit. And I know God gives us pain sometimes, but Satan has a counterfeit pain. So God gives us pain when we break a leg so we can go get our legs fixed or whatever. But so I said, this is a spirit. It's a demon. Cast it out. And I got feedback from this, I don't know where, who, what it was, but they had done this. Every night the child would cry when they were going to bed, and they wouldn't stop crying. And so they just took authority, kind of just to see if it would work, I think, and they commanded the spirit of pain to leave, and the crying and the fussing, and it left. The same thing with lots of times with sickness. The baby comes down with a very high fever or something. And of course, we want to do everything biologically for the child we can, medically, cool them off, whatever we can do, aspirins, whatever. Not saying we don't do that, but we also must do the spiritual, take care of the spiritual root first.
And also about babies, after we bring them home, it's important to hold them. Mm-hmm. And when they cry, to go and comfort them, take in our arms, because there are babies who have been left there to cry until they will calm down, just leave them there and touch the baby just when you change the diaper or just when you feed them. And then they believe a lie that nobody cares.
Right.
It doesn't care if I cry so long. Nobody cares. Nobody hears me. Mm-hmm. So there are different reactions after that. Either they start screaming at everybody because they don't feel like they are heard, or they close themselves.
They become, very introverted. Yeah, and there used to be a teaching back in the day when this, that you were supposed to let your baby cry. You weren't supposed to over-attend it. And I remember one of my clients, that had happened to her as a child. They'd put her in the crib and put it in the bed, put her in the bedroom, close the door, and let her cry. And in the night, she was being tormented by spirits.
Yes.
And terrified and very angry. She became very angry because of the abandonment. And she didn't know that, of course, that's where that was coming from until the Lord showed her. But and a lot of times children are tormented in the night. They have nightmares. And, we just, we don't know what to do. But you do know what to do. It's a spirit. And it may be coming from the generational bloodline. These demons try to get in. There's some that are there, but they try to keep making the way for more of them to come in and expanding the...
See, in Psalm 91, it is written the terror of the night.
Yes.
So there is a terror during the night.
Yes.
And we must be there for our children.
And I know this is really weird, but a lot of children are brought home to houses that are not clean. They're filled with spiritual objects. They're filled with... Some of them are haunted. There's weird stuff going on, and we just, because we're so used to it or oblivious, we don't recognize anything as the problem. But the child is extremely sensitive. Animals, your little puppies and kitties, are very sensitive. Animals are very sensitive to these spirits, and so are the children. So when you're locking them up in a dark room at night and letting them cry, and the demon is tormenting them, then what's going to happen is another spirit is going to come to comfort them. And those are we call those protector demons. So the child is afraid on this side, but over on this side, there's something coming to help them.